When you start planning a Royal Caribbean cruise, you'll read about dining reservations, excursion options, booking shows, repricing drink packages, and pretty soon, it can sound like you're in over your head with this type of vacation. But don't worry, I've got a list of 25 tried and true best Royal Caribbean tips, tricks, and hidden secrets that will make your planning of your cruise foolproof. Here we go. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. A Royal Caribbean cruise is hands down my favorite type of vacation, and with so many years of going cruising, I've come across a lot of tricks and tips to help really enhance my cruise experience. These nifty little secrets can save money, time, or both, and today, I really wanted to focus on the 25 core easy tips to ensure that you have a foolproof vacation. I really feel if you follow these 25 tips, there's a good chance you'll have a great cruise, and this is like your basis. There's more tips beyond this, obviously, but this is the best of the best Royal Caribbean tips and tricks, so that way I hope that you can save some time, money, and maybe even sanity as well. And we're going to go all over the place. There's no real master orders, so strap in. Here we go. Number 1, bring a bathing suit on the first day of your cruise. Embarkation day, the pools are open, so bring a bathing suit with you in your carry-on luggage that you can enjoy with less crowds. Most people pack their bathing suits in their checked luggage, which means they won't have access to those bathing suits and the rest of their clothing, of course, until later that day. The result is far fewer people are in the pools, hot tubs, and water slides on the first day than any other day of the cruise. You can always change in a public restroom, and towels are available at the pool area to use. Number 2, avoid the drink package rule that might cost you more money. Did you know that if one adult elects to buy the unlimited alcohol package, all the other adults in the same room have to get it too? Well, if you have an adult in the room that does not drink or doesn't really drink that much alcohol, you can get around this rule by calling Royal Caribbean and requesting that person get the Royal Refreshment package instead. By having them get the non-alcoholic drink package, you'll save a lot of money compared to buying the deluxe beverage package that costs way more. Number 3, ask for special order food in the main dining room. Don't be afraid to ask your waiter for special requests that are not of the dietary need variety, but just something you really love. Perhaps you like having a plate of vegetables to start off your dinner with, or anything else that's not on the menu. Talk to your head waiter and make the request. If the ship has the ingredients on board to make it, odds are they'll be happy to make it for you. In general, I found a 24-hour notice will ensure the chef's crew can take care of the request for you. Number 4, check into your cruise as soon as you can. This is really important because Royal Caribbean does enforce its check-in times. So be sure to check in for your cruise as soon as check-in opens. Check-in will open about 45 days before your cruise. By completing online check-in early, you'll have the best choice of check-in times. And the earlier check-in time you have, the sooner you get on board the ship and start your vacation. The price you pay for the cruise is the same whether you board at noon or 2 p.m., so you may as well take advantage of the extra couple hours of fun. Number 5 on the list, book your cruise as early as you can to save money. There is no question in my mind that if you want to get the lowest price on a cruise, book it as early as you can. Generally speaking, the best price for a Royal Caribbean cruise can be found when booked many months in advance. Royal Caribbean sells its cruises largely based on supply and demand. When a sailing is first offered, supply is at its highest because no one's purchased a cruise cabin yet. As time progresses, more and more staterooms are reserved, and of course, stateroom inventory drops, so prices tend to go up conversely. The earlier you book, the best chance you'll have at getting a good price on a cruise. And when I say early, what I really mean is early as you can do it, of course. Royal Caribbean puts itineraries on sale as much as 2 years in advance of the sailing. And while that may be too far in advance for a lot of people to start, planning a vacation, the earlier you start planning that, the better chance you're going to have at getting a bottom line price. And don't forget, if you're in certain countries like the US, Canada, and Australia, you can always reprice the cruise up until final payment date with no penalty. Your travel agent can help you with that. Speaking of booking early, number 6 takes us to pre-booking packages. To save time and money, you really should pre-book beverage packages, dining packages, internet packages, and more. In many cases, Royal Caribbean promises a discount on select pre-cruise purchases compared to the price on board. When you purchase anything before your cruise via the Cruise Planner website, you'll be required to pay for it at the time of purchase. This provides the ability to break up total cost of the cruise. And when you make purchases on board your cruise, at the end of the cruise, you get a final bill with all those charges tallied up. So by pre-purchasing certain items, you can pay off parts of your cruise months or even years in advance, allowing you to reduce the cruise bill at the conclusion of your cruise. And in my opinion, an intangible benefit to pre-purchasing anything is it saves you time on board from doing the exact same thing, which means more vacation time back to you. Taking the time to purchase anything on board does not take very much time, but every little bit helps. And some purchases on the first day of the cruise can require waiting in line, like a drink package. So do it all before the cruise. Number 7 is use a good travel agent. In short, to save time and money, use a good travel agent when booking a cruise. There's a lot that goes into a Royal Caribbean cruise vacation, from your cruise fare, and of course all the different discounts that are available, to dining, shore excursions, air travel, and more. Using a good travel agent simplifies the entire process. And the best reason to use a travel agent is it saves you time, because they're the ones sitting on hold when Royal Caribbean with any kind of questions that may occur. Tasks like repricing, making special requests, dealing with weather events, and more are why I use a travel agent every single cruise that I book. Keep in mind, by the way, that travel agents are paid by Royal Caribbean, so there is no additional cost to you to use their services, or at least there shouldn't be. Some do charge them, and I wouldn't recommend them. Talk to a few agents and feel them out for their knowledge of the product, and when you find one you're comfortable with, leverage their knowledge and expertise to book with them. Again, anybody can book a cruise. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about the value a travel agent provides you between when you book and when you actually sail. Number 8, if you're looking for a great sailaway spot, always go to the helipad. On Voyager class, Freedom class, or Radiance class ships, be sure to visit the helipad for my favorite sailaway spot. The helipad is located on the bow or front of the ship, and during sailaway, Royal Caribbean permits guests to access the helipad. This is a great spot to see the port as you leave, especially for those that don't have a balcony room or just simply want a great view. Number 9, this is so important. Fly to your cruise port at least one day early. If you're flying to your cruise port, be sure to fly in at least one day before the cruise is scheduled to depart to protect against a travel delay. By planning to arrive to your departure port at least one day early, you're going to assure yourself that a travel delay will not impact your ability to miss the cruise. As an added bonus, by arriving to your embarkation port at least a day early, you get to start vacation even sooner. And in many cases, the port you're departing from has its own cultural and historical attractions that you can explore, so it's a great way to start a vacation. Number 10 is you don't have to buy your kids a dining package. If you're getting a dining package for you as the adult, that's cool, but kids get a special pricing at a specialty restaurant, so buying a dining package is only really for the adults. Now, Royal Caribbean has introduced some new pricing for kids with a dining package. You could get it for them, but keep in mind, by the way, that children between the ages of 0 and 5 are complimentary at specialty restaurants, and kids between 6 and 12 are only charged $10 per child at any restaurant. The other reason why I'm telling you shouldn't get a dining package for kids, besides the cost, is that sometimes they don't want to eat a full meal. If your kids are anything like my kids, sometimes they just want to get pizza. Sometimes they want to go to the Windjammer and get food over there. So don't feel compelled to get them a dining package. Certainly for the adults, that's fine. But keep in mind that if they're just cool with pizza, you can always get that and bring that to a restaurant. Number 11, if you want the best times for deals at the spa, then try heading to the spa on port days to be able to get some discounts, or early in the morning or late at night for the best prices. The common thread among these times is when others are basically unable or unwilling to go to the spa, so prices tend to be better. Number 12, if you happen to be sailing on an Oasis class cruise ship, like Wonder of the Seas or Harmony of the Seas, or of course Oasis of the Seas, Johnny Rockets is complimentary for breakfast only. All Oasis class ships offer this option, but many people are completely unaware that breakfast is served here, or they don't have no idea that's included with your cruise fare. Now, of course, Johnny Rockets does charge for lunch and dinner. That doesn't change here. But Johnny Rockets tends to be not a very crowded option for breakfast on Oasis class ships because most people are unaware of the option, and it has a large seating capacity, both indoors and outdoors. Take advantage of that if you're on an Oasis class ship. Number 13, avoid embarkation day lunch lines in the buffet. I love the Windjammer, but it is definitely going to be a busy spot for lunch. So there are some good alternatives that are less crowded. This includes, depending on the ship you're sailing on, of course, Park Cafe, Cafe 270, Cafe Promenade, and Sorrentos. If you're in the Windjammer, by the way, whether you're there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, look for the cooking stations over there. Freshly cooked food is always the best, and there are cooking stations available in the Windjammer that serve up really tasty options. In the morning, there's an omelet station available. For lunch and dinner, you can find a rotating set of options that include pasta, stir fry, crepes, and more. Be sure to check with the Windjammer waitstaff for a schedule of options ahead of time, so that way you know what to expect. Number 15, you can bring water or soda on embarkation day. Royal Caribbean allows guests to bring up to 12 bottles or cans of non-alcoholic beverages per stateroom with them on embarkation day. You can bring soda, water, energy drinks, or any other non-alcoholic beverage. Be sure to pack these in your carry-on luggage, not your checked luggage. If you do in your checked luggage, your bag's going to be held back and you have to go down to security later on. And also, you can bring wine on board on embarkation day. So in addition to those non-alcoholic beverages I mentioned, you are allowed to bring up to 2 bottles of wine per stateroom. Each cabin can bring up to 2 750 milliliter bottles of wine or champagne as long as one guest is of legal drinking age. Corkscrews are provided by Royal Caribbean to enjoy in your room. And if you want to enjoy wine or champagne in a bar or a dining venue, there is a corkage fee applied, although I'll be perfectly honest with you, in my experience, not always applied, so your mileage may vary. Number 17, if you really want to save money, cruise during the off-season. If your schedule allows for it, the best time to cruise when prices are the lowest are in the off-season and shoulder seasons. These are the times of the year when demand is less for cruises for certain regions. People often wonder what's the cheapest month to go on a cruise, and the key is when others basically are unable to go or cannot go. Most people go on vacation based around their school or work schedule. So if you can cruise during these off-peak times, there's some really truly low prices to enjoy. Some examples of this is basically, in Alaska, May or September. In Australia, April and November. In the Caribbean, January, May, September, October, early December are all good examples of when you can cruise to save some money. Next up is read a past cruise compass. If you want to get an idea of what entertainment, activities, and things to do along with times will be offered on your cruise, read a past cruise compass. The most common question, well, maybe not the most, but one of the most common questions I get is what restaurants are available, what costs extra, what times are they open till, those kinds of things. And Royal Caribbean does not post or publish cruise compasses for upcoming sailings in advance, nor do they publish their entertainment schedules prior to a cruise outside of the app, but it doesn't have everything in there. So your best bet is to check out a past cruise compass. We have an archive of past cruise compasses at royalcaribbeanblog.com in our main menu. There's no way to know in absolute terms what your upcoming Royal Caribbean cruise will or will not offer, but a lot of people who cruise a lot will tell you that consulting a past cruise compass really makes it easier to understand what to expect on board because they really don't change up the itineraries based on the sailing to sailing. Number 19, use the porters. Whether the first day or the last day of your cruise, be sure to grab a porter to make things easier on yourself. Porters are available to assist with luggage. Their services are complimentary, although a tip is expected for their trouble. Commonly, you'll be tipping somewhere around $1 or $2 per bag. For just a few dollars, you can make the embarkation and disembarkation process so much easier. Not only can a porter help you take the load off of you, they can also greatly assist with the disembarkation process and getting you through the terminal faster. In a lot of cruise ports, porters have a special line for customs that allows them to get all through faster, so less waiting. Number 20 on our list of the best Royal Caribbean cruise tips to make it easy and foolproof for you, book your shows as soon as you get on board the ship. So before COVID, on a couple different ships, you were able to pre-book entertainment online. You can't do that anymore. So for the time being, if you want to book your shows, and you should, when you get on board the ship, connect to Royal Caribbean's Wi-Fi, open up the Royal Caribbean app. And by the way, you don't need to have a Wi-Fi package to use the Royal Caribbean app. There's two options. You'll just say, hey, I want to use the app, and then you're good to go. Then go into the app and then reserve show times. By reserving a show time, you're going to assure yourself of a spot at the theater. There's no cost to do this, but it really does help out to ensure that you don't miss out on the shows because they are really, really important. Number 21, research shore excursions before the cruise. The tours that you can take in the ports you're going to be visiting are quite varied, and there'll be many of them. So take advantage of the resources online to find the perfect tour before your cruise begins. While you can book shore excursions on your ship, the lines at the shore excursion desk can often be long, and doing your research from home gives you plenty of time to compare different options and learn what each port offers. You can view all the excursions available that Royal Caribbean has, of course, on the cruise planner and by browsing the shore excursions by port. Each excursion will list the price, details of the activity, and any physical or age restrictions. Royal Caribbean offers a lot of excursions in every port, and on top of that, you can also consider shore excursions through third parties, outside groups, to further expand your options. Keep in mind the differences between Royal Caribbean shore excursions and third-party excursions. Here are some basic considerations. Number 1, Royal Caribbean shore excursions guarantee your return to the ship even if the excursion is delayed. Third-party shore excursions can offer more personalized tours at a lower price. Royal Caribbean shore excursions are fully refundable if your ship cannot dock at a scheduled port, and guests can use onboard credit towards purchasing Royal Caribbean shore excursions if they book on board. Number 22, the main dining room is open for lunch on sea days. Naturally, everyone thinks of the main dining room for dinner, but did you know it's also open for lunch and breakfast too? On sea days, the main dining room is open for lunch, and it serves up different menu options than what's offered during dinner. No reservations needed for lunch, just walk on in and be seated. Speaking of the main dining room, if you have My Time Dining, make a reservation. If you have My Time Dining for dinner, your best strategy to make reservations either before the cruise or during the cruise. By having a reservation, you'll be seated faster. The larger the group, the more important it is to have a reservation to limiting the wait times. Peak dinner times for My Time is between 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. So if you plan on dining during these times, reservations are super important. More eating tips for you. Number 24, eat outside. If you're on a Radiance or Quantum class ship, be sure to enjoy your meals outside at the Windjammer. The Windjammer on Radiance and Quantum class ships offers an area at the rear of the ship to enjoy any meal with a fantastic view of the ship's wake. Oasis-class ships offer outside dining in Central Park and Boardwalk. There's no view of the ocean, but it is outside. And lastly, number 25, try the signature activities on embarkation day. If you want to try the Skypad, flow rider, rock climbing wall, or zip line, take advantage of lower weights on the first day of your cruise. Because so many other people are just getting on board, didn't listen to my videos, and are just getting acclimated to the ship, many people are unaware of where these headline attractions are or that they're open on embarkation day. So by going on the first day of your cruise, not only will you likely have a short wait, but you may be able to re-ride a number of times. So there you have it, 25 foolproof Royal Caribbean cruise tips that if you follow these, you're going to be off to a great start. Everything else beyond this is going to be gravy. Hope you enjoy these tips. I want to hear what are some other foolproof, guaranteed to help you tips in the comments below. I'm sure there's more than I listed here. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, which of these tips you absolutely agree with. Can't wait to read those below in the comments. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, if it's going to ensure you have a foolproof cruise, then make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notifications. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.